Right now, on To The Point. 4 people dead in South Lake Tahoe. Tonight, families and friends gathering to remember them. Roseville parents accused of killing their 9-year-old son in court, pleading not guilty. What's next in their case?
The next storm system just hours away, the timing and the impacts we'll be facing.
The push to reopen a historic gold mine in Nevada County rejected. The company that wants to reopen it speaking to us tonight on To The Point. And later on the back roads, the Palm Springs tram taking you from desert to snow in a flash. Thank you for joining us on To The Point. I'm Becca Habiger. Alex Bell has the night off. We start tonight with a vigil happening right now in South Lake Tahoe. The community is remembering 4 people who died in a possible fentanyl overdose Monday. Our Garge Paulsanga is in South Lake Tahoe with a story tonight.
Becca, that vigil wrapped up. It went for about an hour where family and friends showed up sharing their stories about their loved ones here. As you can see, people are still here out and about sharing more stories, just trying to comfort each other through this horrible tragedy. And these weren't just tourists, these were locals. That's why for some of these people it's even hits closer to home. And this vigil held here at the Lakeview Commons near Lake Tahoe. Approximately about 100 to 200 community members coming out to help heal the community from this unfortunate tragedy. A lot of hugs and a lot of tears. And the 4 people who died from an apparent fentanyl overdose were in their 30s. And 3 of them were Lake Tahoe residents, and the 4th one was from a neighboring Douglas County in Nevada. And South Lake Tahoe police say their first responders were called out Monday morning on Roger Avenue. They found 2 people dead and performed CPR and gave doses of Narcan to the other 2. But at the end of the day, they were not able to save any of them. And we spoke to some community members who were just shaken by this. And we also spoke to the mayor.
But we really look at this, the majority of our community, as a poisoning, not as a drug overdose. This was individuals that had taken something that they did not realize they were taking.
There's nothing anybody can say right now. So I think we should all just accept the silence. Have a couple minutes in silence. Because I got nothing.
And the autopsies and the toxicology reports are still pending. And we're going to have much more on this reaction from the community tonight on Late News Tonight at 11. Becca.
New details tonight in the death of a 9-year-old boy in Roseville. He's been identified as Cyrus Blakely. On February 2nd, police say first responders show up to the boy's home for medical aid. Cyrus died at UC Davis Hospital 3 days later. Today, Cyrus's adoptive parents appeared in court. They are accused of killing him. Corey and Kimberly Blakely are facing murder charges, torture charges, and 7 counts of child endangerment, 1 for each of their children. They both have pleaded not guilty. Placer County District Attorney Morgan Geyer says he will personally prosecute the case for now, and the court will seal or not make public parts of the case.
These are forensic interviews that are conducted on witnesses. Most oftentimes those are children, but it's an attempt to at least maintain some privacy for the witnesses that are involved at this point.
The Blakeleys will be tried together, but their special allegation charges differ. Kimberly is accused of hurting Cyrus to the point of giving him a brain injury when he became unconscious and suffered paralysis. Corey faces the allegation of his actions causing Cyrus's death. The next court date is set for March. Until then, both Kimberly and Corey remain in custody at the Auburn jail without bail. The family's advocate says the other children are in the custody of the county. Cyrus's grandparents were in court today, but they chose not to speak with us. They did send us this statement saying, in part, while we remain dedicated to our grandchildren, working to ensure their complex needs are met, please know how much your support means to us and these dear children. A celebration of life for Cyrus is scheduled for March 6th. And take a look, new dramatic video, 20 bullets fired at a home in a gated Rocklin community. It happened Tuesday night off Pebble Beach Road. Police are calling this a targeted attack, though no motive has been announced, and the search for those responsible continues. Neighbors say they want their HOA to add more gates to stop people from walking into their community. And tonight, a historic gold mine in Nevada County will not be reopening, at least not without a lawsuit. We've been following the story of the Idaho-Maryland mine for over the past year, and today, county supervisors unanimously rejected a company's request to open it back up.
This public hearing is adjourned. Those are the cheers and celebrations of Nevada County community members who oppose the reopening of the Idaho-Maryland mine just outside Grass Valley. Rise Gold Corp is the company that bought it back in 2017.
In the 1940s, this mine was the second largest producing mine in the United States.
Rise Gold president and CEO Joe Mullen believes there's a good amount of not only gold, but also silver and tungsten left to mine on this property.
This is a great opportunity for that shift as we're, going back to not relying on metals coming from, Asia or Eastern Europe, and being able to produce things in our own country again.
Active mining here stopped in the 1950s. For several years now, Rise Gold has been working to resume mining operations, saying it would bring economic benefit to the community.
Also create jobs in Nevada County, over 320 direct jobs.
County should deny the Idaho-Maryland mine project.
Community members opposing the project have voiced concerns about environmental impacts, noise pollution, and traffic. Ultimately, supervisors agreed.
I don't see the promise of potentially 300 jobs to override people's quality of life.
Following a two-day meeting, the 5 supervisors voted unanimously on Friday to reject the environmental impact report and Rise Gold's permit request.
It's clear that this community wants to move forward to a cleaner economic future and not go back to mining.
We're disappointed in the outcome of the process and in the vote of the supervisors.
Mullen tells ABC 10 the fight is not over, saying the company will likely defend its property rights through litigation, ultimately seeking a path to resume mining on the land. If that is unsuccessful, he says the company will seek compensation from the county.
Another mining company, M Gold, now called Emergent Metals Corp., made a serious run at reopening this same mine in the early 2000s, but it walked away from the project after failing to meet a deadline for an environmental filing, according to the Sacramento Business Journal. Back then, by the way, the price of gold was less than $500 per ounce, and now it's a little over $2,000 per ounce. Coming up on To The Point, are you being watched while on vacation? How you can spot hidden cameras before they spot you.
The first of 2 storm systems set to arrive in a matter of hours. How much rain and snow we're expecting.
And later on the back roads, the tram taking you from sand to snow in just 12 minutes.
We go through 5 climatic zones all the way up to Alpine, where the mountain station is at 8,516 feet.
Meteorologist Carly Gomez joins us. Carly, how's the weekend weather shaping up?
Well, we are looking at a lot of rain headed our way, and we will have some periods of time where you can get something done, but it's not going to be long. So really time it out for yourself. As we take a look at our low, this is just offshore here, a huge one, pulling in a lot of moisture. That atmospheric river near the Hawaiian Islands, the second one right behind it, just ready to make its way toward us. It looks small now, but that one is going to really pack a punch for us. Really Sunday all the way through Wednesday morning. As we get a closer look, we are looking at a flood watch that will be in effect Sunday to Wednesday. This is for excessive rainfall and neighborhood flooding, road ponding out there. We can see 1 to 3 inches of rain possible when both storm systems pass on through. A winter storm warning also in effect until Wednesday. That'll be for 10 a.m. The elevation's above 6,000 feet here. We could see anywhere from 1 to 2 feet, but above that, above 7,000 feet, we could expect 3 to 4 feet of snow for those peaks. So a lot of travel delays expected, even road closures during this period of time from Sunday through Wednesday. If you had plans to head to the Sierra, your time is now, and maybe very early tomorrow morning before that rain arrives Saturday afternoon. Time to get back. You have just through Sunday morning. So it's really about a 24-hour event. You have to get there and get back. As we take a look at the wind gusts coming in out of the southeast, about 35 to 45 mile per hour gusts expected, strong gusts in the Sierra, and then once again pushing through for your Sunday afternoon with the second storm system there arriving. And then finally, as we take a look and timing this all out, we're looking at that rain early in the morning around 7:30 a.m. pushing onshore. Heavier rain by lunchtime for the valley spots, and then continuing all day as we get through Sunday morning, 1:30 a.m. You're getting a break. So after you get through your early morning hours of Sunday, maybe you have church or any activities happening Sunday, you get to about 2 p.m. and there's our next set coming through Sunday afternoon through the nighttime. Heavy downpours with strong wind gusts expected, and we'll continue to see that into your Wednesday. About 1/4 to 1/2 inch of rain expected with the first storm system. But again, all said and done, we are looking at anywhere from 1 to 3 inches of rainfall. Snowfall totals, though, could get up to as much as 3 to 4 feet. The 10-day forecast going to bring our temperatures right around those mid to low 60s through the week.
Next on To the Point, charges filed in the Kansas City mass shooting. What investigators say happened. And are you being watched on vacation? How to find and protect yourself from hidden cameras. Plus, we hit the back roads where you can go from sand to snow in just minutes. New tonight, 2 teenagers are now facing charges in connections with Wednesday's shooting in Kansas City. The shooting happened just as the parade and rally celebrating the Chiefs' Super Bowl win was ending. Investigators believe a fight broke out between groups of people. One person died, and of the nearly 24 people shot, most are under the age of 16. The accused teens are facing gun-related charges and resisting arrest. Additional charges are expected. A New York judge has ruled former President Donald Trump must pay a $355 million penalty in his civil fraud case. Trump is also banned from doing business in New York for 3 years. His sons are facing multi-million-dollar fines and bans. They are all accused of conducting decades worth of business based on, quote, numerous acts of fraud and misrepresentation. Trump's lawyers say they will appeal the decision. Vacations are a time to relax and unwind, but the next time you stay somewhere, be aware someone could be watching you through a hidden camera. Tonight, Kirsten Holmes explains how to spot hidden cameras and what to do if you find one.
Even if you can't see it, it can see you. That is the first thing you need to know when it comes to secret hidden cameras. They could be anywhere inside your vacation rental. So we went to work for you to find out what you need to know before your next vacation. Our investigative team set up hidden cameras inside this rental before I got there. The challenge? To see if I could find 3 cameras they hid in the home. Fully knowing they were there somewhere, I went looking.
The first thing that people will do, use a charger or a USB port as a hidden camera. Yeah, I normally get rid of all of those. Nooks and crannies are the places I like to go and check. Lamps, looking okay. The sound bar should have a receptor. I feel like the sound bar's receptor here, so what is that? Yeah, what is that? And it's blinking too? My spidey senses are tingling. So now that I've done my sweep, let's bring in the professional. We have Bart Santos here with Bulldog Investigations. Did I find any cameras?
Yes. Over here. This is a pretty common hidden camera in a USB
So this
adapter.
was a camera the whole time. I knew it.
Correct.
Oh, is it recording now? Can it see me?
Whatever is suspect, you want to just simply cover it in a non-destructive way.
The fix? Tape.
You missed above. You didn't look up.
I didn't look up. I did not look up. And
One of the most common places to hide a camera is a smoke detector. You can't destroy a smoke detector in a house that you're renting, but you can get some sticky tape and just cover the orifices.
we found a device online to kind of detect for hidden cameras. I might invest in this if you tell me it's worth the money. What do you think?
Not real high marks for these.
This detector uses an LED viewer for finding camera lenses. Just hover the viewfinder over whatever you think might be a camera, and bingo, that's if it works.
Can we count it a win if it found what I already saw with my naked eye? It helps, but...
David Bevins is an attorney whose client found hidden cameras inside a vacation rental here in San Diego. He's sued, and according to the court filing,
there was a camera pointed at the bed in the bedroom, there was a camera pointed at the shower, and there was a camera pointed at the toilet. The concern is that these images weren't just being seen by one individual. The concern is that they were being sold outside in order to generate money.
David says if you find a hidden camera, call the police and tell them you are being recorded without your permission.
Not only is that a civil wrong where you can be entitled to monetary damages, but it's a crime. That is a crime under the California Penal Code.
Wow, both Airbnb and Vrbo say surveillance devices capturing the inside of properties are never allowed in listings on their platforms. Now to your price points tonight. Some bad news for would-be home buyers. Mortgage rates are going back up. The average 30-year loan is now at 6.77%, its highest level in 10 weeks. 15-year fixed-rate mortgages climbing to 6.12% from 5.9 last week. Some good news in all of this. Costs are down from last year, and most predictions put the 30-year home loan rate at around 6% by the end of this year. Retail sales have fallen more than expected in January. According to a new government report, they are down about 8.8% right now. It follows an increase in December. Economists say this could help convince the Fed to finally start cutting interest rates. It's Friday, which means it's time for another trip on the back roads. And tonight, John Bartel takes us on a tram ride to the top of California's highest state park.
When the desert heat gets too hot in Palm Springs, it's not uncommon for people to take refuge on top of Mount San Jacinto State Park, where temperatures are often 30 to 40 degrees cooler. But one of the only ways to get there is to ride the world's largest rotating tram.
You just better hope you're not afraid of heights.
This is the Palm Springs Aerial Tramway, your fast-track ticket to visiting California's highest state park.
And we go through 5 climatic zones all the way up to Alpine, where the mountain station is at 8,516 feet.
The 12-minute tram ride takes you up Chino Canyon, where you'll glide by rocky cliffs and fast-moving water. Thanks to the rotating floor, passengers get a 360-degree view of the mountains and the Coachella Valley. The view is spectacular, but tram spokesperson Greg Purdy says it's also an engineering marvel that dates back to the Depression era.
Dubbed Crocker's Folly, because there's a lot of folks that didn't think it would happen.
Francis Crocker was an electrical engineer, and on a hot, sweaty day back in 1935, he got the idea to build a tram on the snowy peak of Mount San Jacinto. His dream would take him decades, not only to convince the state, but to overcome war rations and various political roadblocks. But finally, in 1960, the project took off, literally.
It was all built with helicopters and tens of thousands of trips.
Francis Crocker's tram was nicknamed the eighth wonder of the world. Without roads, the project took more than 23,000 helicopter flights and required workers to sleep on the mountain. But in 1963, the tram opened and not only attracted thousands of riders, but a long list of movies and TV shows.
Filmmakers, TV shows have really liked us through the years, all the way back to Mannix and Mission Impossible, up to Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. The Bachelorette was here a year or so ago.
The tram itself often catches Hollywood's focus, but the true destination for tourists is Mount San Jacinto State Park.
Why would anyone want to make a state park up here?
Well, why not?
In all fairness, it does not always snow this bad on the mountain. I just happened to come during a snowstorm.
How far did you say this was?
It's about 0.2 miles.
Lucky for me, state park interpreter Nick Ardino was able to show me around.
This is effectively the one and only way down into the state park wilderness.
Although winter really is a great time to visit the mountain, I wanted to show you what it looks like in the summer. The snow that falls here provides water for the forest of Jeffrey pine trees and all the animals that live up here.
We're transported into what we call a biological island in the sky.
Snow is a pretty special thing in the Palm Springs area. You have to remember, at the bottom of the tram is a hot, arid desert. Nick says when it does snow, views on the park's live webcam increase dramatically, and everyone is watching this picnic table.
That is a very, very famous picnic table. Don't touch it.
Oh,
don't move it.
Don't touch it.
Don't even think about it.
Turns out the picnic table is sort of a snow gauge for people who want to go sledding. Had it not been for Francis Crocker, the hot and sweaty engineer, visitors in this area may not have had the opportunity to cool down or experience a snowstorm in the deserts of Palm Springs.
We kind of have a running joke up here with Mount San Jacinto. If you don't like the weather or the views, just wait a couple minutes and they'll change like that.
From the Palm Springs Aerial Tramway, I'm John Bartel. Hope to see you on the back roads.
Well, next on To The Point, some great news. A former NBA star is getting a life-saving donation. Before we go tonight, we have an exciting update on a story we brought you earlier this month. Former Sacramento Kings player Scott Pollard will receive a new heart days after being admitted to the ICU. It's a quick turnaround after news broke of his hospitalization last week. At 6'11", Pollard's size made it challenging to find a heart with a pump big and strong enough to supply blood throughout his body. His wife, Dawn Pollard, made the announcement on Instagram today, showing her shaving Scott's head as he prepared to be taken to the operating room. We are certainly wishing him and his family well as he enters this next phase of recovery. Great news. Thank you so much for watching tonight. Have a great evening and a wonderful weekend. Take care.
Hey, it's Alex. I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching. The To The Point team and I love hearing from you, and I hope that you'll stay in touch. And don't forget, you can always email me and the team at tothepoint@abc10.com, or you can even send us a text message at 916-321-3310.